Hello, my name is Alexis Shelton, and I'm going to talk about XR design best practices. This is discussion board 3. The first question is, what are some of the design best practices for VR that you didn't know from 2D to 3D? I think one of the major things for me is just knowing where to place objects and how to place them. I think that depth is important because um, in 2D, like everything's on the same scale. So in 3D, it's very different. Like the environment is multidimensional. So you have to know whether to put something close or far away and how it looks. And it just being able to play with scale. And also, people can see all around. So you can walk completely around in a VR environment versus like you only are designing just a small aspect. You might have to place things in everywhere that person is going to be. You can also walk out of the environment, which is interesting. So then you also know too, like when that happens, like the creator only made the environment so big, like you can only stay within this certain area because it's not expansive. So I feel like that would kind of be a thing, is knowing like how expansive to make your environment, knowing where your users are going to go, what they're going to look at, what they're going to interact with, the text, knowing if the text is big enough, because sometimes text can be really small to read even on your phone. So in VR, not knowing like where the text is going to fall when the person enters into they spawn into the room, that's something to consider, is like the sizing of your text. And also motion sickness, because a lot of VR games, like the movement of the camera and how you have it moving around, can affect how a person feels when they're using the device. So I think that all of those things, making those considerations for that when you're designing, would be some of the best practices. And one of the best practices, what does she mean by affordances? So affordances are visual clues that show you how to use something. So buttons would be affordances, maybe even instructions, or text that shows you arrows, things that blink, sound could all be affordances that are a part of the VR system that could help users to know exactly what to do when they're in the game or experience. Is curved or flat panels better, a better design for XR, and why? Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the question. What are the 3 interactions in XR? The 3 interactions are gaze, gesture, and hand and controller. So gaze is just like looking at things and being able to select them as you look at them. Hand is, you can wave your hand over it, or you can use your hands to grab or point to an object, or you can use a controller like joysticks, like the Oculus has handheld joysticks for certain experiences. Okay, and then is curved or flat panels a better design for VR? Curved panels are actually usually better because they make you look around. They match how your eyes naturally see, and they make you look around. Your field of vision is curved and not flat, so curved menus and screens fit more naturally into the systems. Is it important to give feedback in a 2D or 3D designs? I think feedback is always important, but I think it's very important in XR. Firstly, because it's still very new, and I mean, you are constantly getting feedback for all of these other products that you're creating. So that just helps us to improve and to create better experiences. So without proper feedback, we don't get better experiences. And also, like, feedback in terms of like what we see on the computer, like if there's something that we do and there's an error button, then it lets you know that that's not what you were supposed to be doing in that moment. So therefore, without those cues, we won't know how to properly work things, or we won't be able to see if they're working in the way that they should. Like if we constantly get an error message, then that's something that we need to report and it needs to be fixed or debugged. So that was the last question, and that's my take on the best design practices for XR. Thank you.